With the release of Chapter 5 and the return of solo victory cups, we have seen some players dominating on their respective regions. Specifically on Central is a player Peterbot who has 4 of the 5 highest elimination finals wins in the world. So what makes Peterbot so good? For context, Peterbot got a 35 kill win in the most recent solo Cash Cup finals, and ended in 5th place, earning himself $100. So I'm going to be showing you what he did to get this 35 kill win. Peterbot lands at Snooty's steps where he is able to get himself the Peter Pump shotgun and a medallion, which is crucial when going for high elimination games. Despite finishing this game with 35 eliminations, he plays off spawn slow and sets himself up with decent loot before he fights anyone. And after looting one house, he then rotates to the tunnel on the north side of Snooty. This is where he's able to guarantee himself 40 shield by using barrels. After looting the tunnel, he keeps going farther north, where he hears a player above him. He blocks off the other player and looks for an angle, but ends up just going to the house to get more shield from barrels anyway. From here, Peterbot goes back into Snooty, where he ends up getting into his first couple of fights.
He's in there.
At the start of this fight, Peterbot gets sniped, forcing him to have to play defensive.
Get the fuck out! Oh my god.
One of the main things Peterbot does really well is that he uses builds to constantly have a right hand peek in fights.
I swear that kid's also cheating though. He has to be like, Hunter!
He uses a right hand peek to box his opponent here, but misses his shot. We can see this from his opponent's perspective as well.
Hunter!
He does a lot of damage to this opponent, but unfortunately the elimination gets stolen. When Peterbot fights the kid at the vault, he places a ramp and edits to look through it, instead of just running in. This is something a lot of players wouldn't normally do. Since Peterbot has 3 medkits, he plays time with the storm, and eventually the opponent just jumps in. He finishes off the fight with another right hand peek. In this fight, he just waits for the opponent to edit, and after a high damage shot, he uses a phase exploit to finish the player off. In the next fight, Peterbot gets a quick kill when a third party takes his wall. He quickly looks down to edit his cone to block off the opponent. When going up, he places 2 walls which help prevent him from getting shot from a third party. They also make it so the opponent he's fighting can't edit up and shoot him. After grappling, Peterbot quickly takes out his cones and places them below and quickly above the other player. After making a double edit, Peterbot places a wall and makes a window edit, making it harder for the opponent to hit him. Eventually the fight finishes and Peterbot gets an elimination.
Wow, bro.
In the next fight, when he breaks this wall, he quickly places his own wall through a ramp to try blocking off the other player. From there, he finishes the fight like normal.
Dog shit. Ran ever, bro. Like the first time I got to high point.
On this elimination, Peterbot makes a double edit, then places a wall to stop the other player.
Really, bro?
When looking at this fight, the main thing I realized is that Peterbot is constantly placing walls to his left to block off his opponent and give himself a right hand peek. The fight lasts a while, but eventually he takes his opponent's wall and finishes the fight with a 1 pump. The next couple of fights finish with him not doing anything too special. He gets a 100 tag on this player and jumps in to finish the fight. When Peterbot goes to take this wall, he quickly looks up to place another wall and uses it to get piece control on his opponent. When Peterbot fails to get this player's wall, he quickly places a ramp then looks left to place a wall in case the player tries to box him.
Are you him, buddy? You're him. I love this.
The opponent tries to run and he quickly gets the elimination.
This is out. You at least gave an attempt, bro. Like, half these kids is running, so, bro.
In this next fight, Peterbot W keys someone who is in multiple wood boxes. A third party starts to spray him. He quickly looks up and builds walls through his cone to make space and confuse the other player.
Dude, he's so bad at building.
The fight drags on a little bit, but yet again, he ends up finishing the fight with a 1 pump. Peterbot boxes this next player when they're trying to run away using their grapple. He baits the other player into shooting, then finishes him off. He sees this next player isn't held up by many builds, so he chops it out and hits a big shot on the other player. He W keys this next player and blocks off his back when the third party tries spraying him. While sliding, he shoots his AR so that he can easily get into the other player's box.
Like, look at that guy's first instinct.
When keying this player, he gets hit for a lot of damage and immediately backs off to heal. When zone comes in, he ends up getting the elim anyway. When doing this side jump, he places a wall then a cone above it, making it so the opponent has nowhere to go. He does the same thing when doing a retake onto this player.
I need some fucking kills.
When box fighting this player, he edits the cone, places and edits a floor, which makes it so the opponent can't build anything. He gets a 100 tag onto this player but is unable to finish him off instantly. He follows the player and sees the wall is weak since it just got placed and jumps in and gets an elimination. He goes up, gets a nice tag on the opponent and places cones to block him off. He uses a window edit to get a nice peek onto the other player, misses his shot, but still ends up getting the elimination. He sprays this player's wall, takes it and gets a cone in the box. The player's trapped in the cone and he easily finishes him off. From here, he continues to try going for other players' walls and keeps looking down for eliminations. Normally solo cash cup games end in heal offs, but because he fought and eliminated so many people, this game doesn't end up lasting that long. He jumps down to eliminate the second to last player since he knows that he's weak. He then goes up to heal and prepares to fight the last player and win the game. He sprays out the other players' builds to waste their materials and to get the cone and floor weak. Since since the top of his opponent's builds are weak, he sprays in and hits the final shot, winning himself the game and earning $100.